Hey guys, welcome back to Trekyards. I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Connor Cummings, and today, another unused, unknown to many of you concept, what could have been.
That's right. We've all seen Nemesis. We all know what a Valdore looks like. But what about a Romulan warbird Valdore? This is a concept that was done by David Negron Jr. Before John Eves took over and got this. So we're going to take a look at that today and let you know our thoughts on it. I want to get your thoughts on it. It's very important as well. So let's just talk about it.
And thanks, obviously, the eavesdropping website, which sounds weird, but it's John Eves' website that he put things on for years and years. And at one point, he put up these images. I found them a while ago, and I thought, oh my goodness, did not know this existed. This is the what could have been. So yeah, this first image is a ship on a background with some colours. Tells you quite a lot. Stuart, have you seen these before?
I have not.
So your first reaction, I'll give you context first. If you recall, up to this point, we'd only seen the TOS Romulan Warbird, which never really carried over, the Romulan Doderidex by Andrew Probert, the Romulan Shuttle and Scout, which were a science ship, which were all kit bashed of the same model, either designed by Andrew or a combination of the in-house art team. Then we did get the DS9 shuttle designed by Doug Drexler, but we've yet to see, obviously, the Valdore or the Enterprise era. So the last thing we'd seen was the shuttle. We've only had about 4 ships to go on. That's it. And this is obviously Nemesis, which is already a few years after DS9. It's already many years after the Doderidex. Just want to set that context first, those who don't realise. Now, what do you think?
First thing I thought when I opened up this picture was, why am I looking at a Cardassian design? Just because of the color. Now, you change the color to green, it would feel Romulan for sure. That being said, I have a few issues with this. I can see the tie-in that they're trying to go with the warbirds by the upper wing sections, especially those back cutouts. It kind of looks similar. However, this seems more like a atmospheric vessel, and just because of that tail fin at the back,
No.
it feels like a plane. It feels like something out of Aliens, like a drop ship or something. It does not feel very Romulan-esque to me. So those are my first initial thoughts.
I'm thoroughly torn on it. I mean, the John Eves one is... It takes everything of the Doderidex, but streamline, thins, sleeks it out to a T. But it's every element just replicated like the Enterprise, like the Voyager, as Rick Stumbuck says, every element of the Enterprise D, but shrunk, reformed, but every single piece is there. This, however, is a new beast, and it's hard to unsee how sleek and refined the Valdore is, how bulky and unrefined this looks, and also this is before Scimitar as well. I do get the fact that, you know, it's got this big outer curve, which the Doderidex had 2 of, so you cut one half, cut it in half, and you've got a shape. There's certainly parts of that, but this image doesn't do it justice, and I am confused by the back piece. Maybe it moves. It's almost as if it's got a little segment where it like comes up and down. Maybe that's like a big cannon, like that's its, you know, quantum array. Blah, blah, blah. But it definitely feels to me more like, especially with the middle element, which from this I'm seeing, you know. There should be dozens of windows, and that's like the livable area. That's where the people are. It's like a big sort of city ship. It's massive. It flies through, and it's got, you know, like 6,000 Romulans. It's very well armed. It's very well shielded. It's not fast. It's not efficient. But you want to go to the other side of the quadrant with this thing? Perfect. It's kind of the vibe I get.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get more of a cargo ship vibe, honestly. It doesn't feel like a warship of any sort. I mean, especially that dark pod underneath, which could be anything. It could actually be cargo pods. I do like your idea of that rear stabilizer, because it looks like a stabilizer. It looks like an aircraft. And that really is just not something that's indicative of ships we see in Star Trek. So that really throws me for a loop for sure. But yeah, if it rotated down or was, you know, facing down and forward kind of thing, that might make it look a little bit better. And because, like I said, I feel it feels like an alien, something out of Aliens, for like a dropship.
The next view is 2 more views and a scale. Tell me your thoughts, because this I think is very different feeling.
Again, it looks like a fighter, a modern day attack fighter or something that would be an atmospheric vessel. It is huge. I didn't expect it to be quite that huge.
Bigger than Scimitar as well.
Yeah, but it definitely doesn't feel Star Trek. It doesn't feel Romulan at all to me. The front looks very aggressive, but again, it's more like a fighter of some sort. Something that we would see, in another franchise, definitely not Star Trek. I can see where he was kind of going a little bit. The top wing portions, again, they look like huge air intakes. It's got too much of a modern aircraft feel to it that I don't like. And then the colorization, why is it brown? If you put it green, it would have more of a Romulan feel to it. But the brown color and the whole atmospheric flight look just throws me right off. I can't really get around the Romulan idea of this.
It's like if you put it in a lineup and said pick the Romulan, you'd say, no, this is this could be a Gorn ship.
Yeah.
With a big strong tail.
Or a larger version of a bird of prey. I mean, a beefed up bird of prey look. Just get rid of the tail.
I will say though, these views look better than the first view. Would you agree?
Yes, I would agree.
I think that front view is actually pretty great, but you can't tell about the back wing thing, and the wing span looks more organic. In the side view, it looks so like thick and bulky and like down, whereas it should be much more out. But I really, really like, and I didn't notice until now as we try and save these viewings until the show to get general first reaction, whatever details in the middle, this big, thick, almost Borgy black detail, actually continues up through the neck, up through where the guns are at the front, and then actually is the main head, and then the brown armor, has these lovely slits in it. Like, artistically, I think that's a really cool design. I love the idea of, soft underbelly with the armor on top. I think that actually looks really cool. Not necessarily Romulan, but really interesting. And those massive look like intakes. I mean, the scale of those things. What is that trying to tell us?
Those could honestly be launch bays, shuttle bays.
That would be more interesting. That would be very cool. Then you've got this massive fighter carrier. Yeah.
My only complaint is lose that rear vertical stabilizer. You don't need that in space. I mean, it could be some kind of, much like the Nebula class, kind of like either a sensor palette up there, or you could attach different modules to that top part. Photon torpedoes or whatever. That'd be kind of neat. But it looks too aircraft, and even if you look at the back of it from the side there, it even has like what looks like a rudder. It's like, get rid of that. Like you're thinking too much aircraft. It's get rid of those details, and that would really improve this look.
Well, especially as it's hard to not link to what we know in real life, but obviously the Romulans have never seen an F-14. So why would they link anything from that? This is well in the future. I was going to complain it's too big. It feels too bulky. The fact that back fin is almost bigger than the E. But obviously, remember, the Pterodex was absurdly bigger than the D. So this does kind of follow the humongous scale. There's one more image, though. And I'll say my first thoughts on this one. This third image, I think, looks excellent. I think this fixes almost all the problems for me. This, without the colouring, with the angle, this feels Romulan to me. And this looks really good. What do you think?
It is an improvement for sure. To be honest, I get more of a Klingon bird of prey vibe from this angle. It feels like Pierre Droulet's reimagined bird of prey that he did for the JJ movies. It feels like it could be that. And again, get rid of the damn stabilizer.
But you can't tell. You can't tell the stabilizer though. Just
after seeing the other pictures, you can though.
I know, but if you just picture it as just like a continuation, a flat continuation with a little dip up. Because the whole body feels much thinner now, much more sleek. The wingspan feels almost straight out, much more Valdore-like. This feels so much more sleeker and refined, and I like the big head armor. That feels like the Pterodex feels like, especially the Roman helmet-inspired Dodressa shuttle, and it doesn't feel too bulky. I think this is a really interesting variation, and it keeps the original concept, but just sleeks it, you know.
Yeah. Well, if I'd seen this one first, I wouldn't necessarily know that was what the real stabilizer looks like.
Yeah.
To be honest, from this view, without knowing what that stabilizer
Yes.
looks like, it looks like a Batmobile or like a Bat jet. It's got that kind of like, you know, the different cutouts of the. It looks like a bat symbol thing. But yeah, I definitely get more of a Bird of Prey vibe with this than anything. I can see a little bit, you know, of what eventually kind of was worked into the Valdore a little bit here. I do like the fact that the wings are more straight out in this one as opposed to down. I mean, once it's just the angle of it, obviously, but you know, with the Bird of Prey, I prefer the flight formation with the wings straight out and stuff. But then again, that would make it look way more aircraft-like if it did that. So, yeah, but the bottom part doesn't look like I anticipated it to from the other views. It looked more like a city hanging from the bottom of the ship almost.
This is kind of like the Firefly bottom, but more refined. And I can imagine if they wanted to make it even more of a fighter carrier, kind of like the Scimitar, a little bit, because that's a massive bay. Those two side pods, which are now on the bottom, big fighter bays, and if you had like a drop bay as well, so like over half of the bottom is just fighters, which I mean is weird for Trek, but I mean they have Riemann attack fighters. It's kind of they have, you know, in a sense, suicide fighters, a swarm of people. I mean it's weird for Trek, but you know if you can, or even like small runabout sized. But if this is as huge as it looks, why not have just very capable runabouts, but slightly bigger? Because that is absolutely adequate. I mean, they can, you know, weirdly, a runabout can take out a Dominion bug ship. Yay for them. So if they had, you know, 15 of those, 20 of those, 100 of those, that's quite an effective fighting force. It
almost seems like a smaller vessel, though, just because of the detail on it. I know that sounds stupid, but I mean, we've seen the Pterodactyls, and it's very similar to most Star Trek designs we've seen done by Matt Jeffries. Very smooth and sleek, and not a lot of extraneous like detail or greeblies on it. This one, it seems to have a lot of that, and it kind of takes away from the Romulan look a little bit. I think if they smooth a lot of this out, and again, you know, seeing it in green would help a lot. It would feel more like a larger ship. I feel like the more detail and like crap all over things, it feels like more. It feels smaller in a way, you know. So I like it. It's got a lot of potential, but again, I don't really get much of a Romulan vibe from it.
And as I said in a previous episode, which we just filmed but came out at a different time to you guys, you know, scale. This is why some designs aren't taken. You know, this one wasn't taken forward. That might be a reason.
We're going to be doing more of these looks at unused concepts, because there's some really cool designs out there. So hopefully you're enjoying this. Let us know in the comments down below if you are. Another way to let us know is by helping out the channel, supporting us, heading on over to our Patreon. The link is in the description below. You can help us on a monthly basis, or head on over to Trekyards.com, click the donate button. Even all of our PayPal information, all that cool stuff is down below. And you know, put your comments. We like reading that kind of thing. We like to hear what you think about these ships, these unused concepts. And not many people have seen. I had never seen this one before. So, you know, we want to hear your thoughts on this. And if you want us to continue this concept show look at things, let us know. It's very important.
Guys, you need to subscribe to this channel. We know most people don't subscribe, but guys, you really should. We do content every single week, every Saturday for over 5 years. We released a video like this. We're going to keep doing that, and weekly videos, and when the new shows come out, boy, there'll be lots of content to subscribe to keep up with that, and just to you know, tell us you care. And obviously tune in for the next cool concept show. There's gonna be so many. Yeah, look forward to that, Stuart.
All right, so until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
Connor Combs.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, guys.